yeah, like the situation is now, like you said, we're fortunate to have it that early. Otherwise, we would have not even started the season by now, I guess. So first weekend perfect for us. Second weekend also really good for us. And now leading both championships, we couldn't ask for more.
You also took on your rookie Rene Hoffer as well.
Yeah.
Can you let viewers know, Dirk, how that plan was put together? Because it definitely paid off in Matterley and in Valkenswaard as well.
Yeah, with Rene, he came on board a bit late, let's say. I mean, it was pretty much a late decision to have another MX2 rider, since we had 2 riders in my tent and 2 riders in Claudio De Carli's tent, and but Jorge stepped it up after 2-time winning the world title. He had to move up to MXGP. So we had to have a second rider, and then Rene came into the picture because we supported me already the last couple of years. He looked promising, and we took him aboard. And basically, we applied the same plan, let's say, like we did with Tom Vial the year before, because Tom also was a nobody before he came to us. Nobody had him really on the radar. We gave him a good winter program. We gave him a good bike, good tests, and last year was a brilliant season for him. And of course, the expectations was not that high now with Rene. Nobody wanted to put any pressure on him, to keep him free, to let him develop. But yeah, he stunned us all in the first race in already.
Yeah. Hoffer, who held the nice tight line through the inside. Around the same time, Vial took over the lead from Hoffer.
It's good to have 2 really young kids like them, and there's no jealousy. And of course, Tom, he has 1 year advance on Rene with all the tracks and so on. Rene still need to learn on many tracks he's never been. But this year is anyhow an extraordinary situation. We don't know which race we're going to go. But he's also a quick learner. He adapts really quick to tracks. And there's a good rivalry. But no, let's say, like during practice, they help each other out. They get each other faster. And it's a good thing to see, to have 2 teammates like that. Jeffrey is very, very ambitious, of course. He likes to win, and he does everything that he's winning. I mean, this year we could see also Tim Geiser stepped it up a bit. So there was some good infights between these 2, and it's good for the sport. I mean, before sometimes Jeffrey was just too dominant, let's say.
I recall you saying there's no reward for being 20 seconds out in front, Jeffrey. Is there a slight, perhaps, balancing, I suppose, rather than knowing that he has to stay out front and have a massive gap, and then something might happen? Do you see any change this year?
Well, we see this year he's playing it smart, like if it's too far and the distance, like when Tim pulled away and he couldn't catch him, then it's perhaps not really like worth the effort to make to go the extra mile and reel him in and take a lot of risk. Sometimes it's better to settle for second. He understood that by now. Like, even though he won both GPs because he won second heat. So I'm happy to see that he also can settle now for second place. And if you have a normal season with 20 races, if you're every week in top 3, you're probably going to be world champion, But if you have 1 DNF, it puts you right out of the points.
Herlings was up into second with this pass on his teammate, Kai Rowling.
I'm studying a lot about the last championships, and I just try to be consistent this year.
But hard done, so I hope he can stick to his word. So.
Do you think that this disruption, change, adjustment, how do you think it'll affect the guys?
For them it's hard, I mean, they're on really like on a good fitness level now. Just started 2 races, and then it comes to such an emergency stop, and you need to tell them to stay off the bike for 4 weeks and maybe even longer. We don't know yet how long that lockdown will last. And I mean, in Europe you cannot travel at the moment. All tracks are closed. They do physical training, but the riding is really down to some, I don't know, backyard play riding, if so, but there's not really tracks open where you can put in real motors and train really for the World Championship and everything. So they keep themselves fit on a certain level, but also they shouldn't stay super fit because yeah, if we at one point can start racing in, I don't know, June, hopefully July or whatever, then of course the season will be prolonged. It's not going to stop in October. We're going to race up into November, I guess. Then
we have to try and reset the brain, if you like. Yeah, yeah, tricky.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody has his own ways. Like I said, Jeffrey is a guy who likes to train and distract himself. Yeah, well, Tom as well. I think all of these guys, they cannot say, okay, now I spend 4 weeks on the couch and I sign up with Netflix or something like that. And no, that's not them. You know, they're racers. They need to do something. They need to be active. And it's really a unique situation. We never had that the last, I don't know, probably nobody even remembers.
Let's just take a clip from Tom. He's speaking after, I think this was after race 2.
Last year it was difficult. Now I work a lot on the winter with Joel Smith, and it's working pretty good.
Joel also, he fell in love with that role a bit. Like he's doing a good job, to be honest, lately, you know. Like in the beginning, of course, it takes a while to step into the team, and they're new, and everybody has a different approach. But by now, Joel is a really good asset what we have for all these young guys, and he has a lot of experience, and he can pass it on to the guys. He's not shy to do that, and yeah, him and Tom, they really connected well. They have a link together, and it's super what they provide there.
What do you think are the most important parts of developing those young riders, and how do you select them?
Well, you take a look who comes up from the 80cc. Like with Jorge, we developed him really early. Like he's with us since he was like 12 years old. So that was end of 65 or something like that. Already he was support rider from factory in the 80 class, then in the 1 to 5 class, and then 250 European. And yeah, you remember that time he was the same team as Josiah when he came over. And yeah, some guys make it, some break it. You know, they all look promising at the point, but when the pressure kicks in, then you see the real champions. 10 titles of Stefan. This is something first you need to reach. You know, it's really far out there. And I mean, Jeffrey, I don't know if he can reach it still. Because, okay, at the moment we have 4 titles, and if he wins another one, it's 5. But he's 25 now, and he had many injuries. I don't know if he will race till he's 35. If he does, I can see he can beat it. But yeah, it takes a toll. It's a hard sport, and what Stefan achieved, 101 wins and 10 titles, this is something not normal, you know.
Jeffrey Herlings, who crossed the line to take his 170th career race win.
Yeah, no, but also he's addicted to that, you know. He likes to break records, of course.
KTM mantra, the ready to race.
Yeah.
And Leon, let's just put it in context, I think. For an outsider looking in, like myself, there always seems to be, I know the bottom line is the brand to sell motorcycles, but there always seems to be that emphasis of putting the people, KTM people first. Dirk, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, our slogan is ready to race, and I have to say, or I cannot thank enough to the R&D people, because I mean, they gave us a really good platform. You know, they build awesome bikes. What are sold out there for the customers, and this is a very good base where we build our race bike on. You know, when you go 15-20 years back, a factory bike was a one-off handmade bike, like super special and maybe too special at the point, you know. Like now, like I say, we use that good base. What is also, it went through all of the long-term testing and many hours of testing, and we don't need to do all that ourselves anymore, you know. We use them as well, and they benefit also from our input. And I think nowadays the bike, anyhow, they're on such a good level. You put some more components on, like factory suspension, and go testing with a good rider, and you have a really fast bike already, even if you want to do a national championship.
How do you keep everybody in sync?
Yeah, sometimes difficult. And yeah, when was it? 2018 when Tony and Jeffrey both rode for the title, and they trading wins. We had that big clash in Matterley when they came together, and Tony went down, and the whole world was waiting for that. That finally the two superstars they touch each other. One guy goes down or whatever. Nobody was hurt, luckily, and they wanted to see a fight. You know, our opposition, they wanted to see friction inside the team. But myself and Claudio De Carli, I think we managed pretty good. I mean, the fight should be out on the track. It should not be between our two teams, and it isn't. We really cooperate very well, and we speak about everything with each other. We're trading information, and you know, otherwise it's not going to happen that you have so many superstars on the 110. I mean, at the moment we have, wait, let me count up. Tony is 9, Jorge is already 2, and Jeffrey is 4. We have 15 titles under the tent, you know. Yeah. And this is something unique in the paddock. And I mean, we have probably, yeah, one of the, we have 3 of the top 5 guys under the 2 KTM tents, and this is, you don't have that every week. But like you say, you also need to manage it. But so far, I think we did a good job, and we try to keep doing on the same level and keep up that good spirit. And a strong team makes a strong team.
How do you manage when the rider expectations hasn't been fulfilled and they are disappointed?
Yeah, it's a tough sport. There always will be disappointment. It's not a piece of cake. And you have good days and you have bad days, but the team is there in all the times, you know, in the glory days and also when we get beaten. So we try to help them out. We give them mental support, and we cheer them up. Doesn't matter what happened, and that's what a team makes. I mean, also our mechanics, they're 100% behind the riders, and it's even more than a work relationship. Many times they have like a really friends relationship, you know, and that makes them strong. And also the riders, they know they can rely on us if things don't go to plan and they have not a good day, and we help them out. Of course, if you don't have a strong team, I mean, you can have the strongest rider, but when he has difficult days, you will see that also he will struggle. And if he has no holdback and he has no team who's behind him and what he can rely to, or like when Jeffrey struggled when he came up to 450 class, you know, we tried everything to make him more comfortable, and we changed over the bike, we did more testing, and we gave him the confidence back. And it took a bit time, but he got the confidence back. And at the end of the year, he was winning races. That's what the team is there for, and this is our main work. That we give them a strong base with a strong bike, and the rest they need to bring themselves. But it's a fruitful ground, what they can really flourish in. You know, it's a great brand. I mean, you know, I am what I am now because of KTM, let's say, you know. I was always a motocross enthusiast, but they gave me a big opportunity back in 2011 to come back as a technical director, and then Pitt even gave me the trust to be a team manager in 2015. And I like my job, and we you know, it never stops. Also now, when you're at home, even in a lockdown, you're cracking your head how you can get the bike better and the bike faster, and hopefully we start some racing, because you know what you hate the most, like the travel, now it kicks in that you say, for 3-4 weeks it's a bit boring now, you know, what the hell I'm gonna do with every weekend? Okay, I go out riding mountain bike more and physical a bit more training, but because I have now the time. But yeah, it's just in your blood, you know. Motocross was always my life, and I started there in very young age, already with 13-14 years to support riders. Then I raced myself a bit, and it's just what it is, and I'm still in that sport. And if you don't have the passion, I think you don't last that long.